Picture this. It's 3 in the morning. You're driving home, the streets are completely empty, and you pull up to a red light. You stop. No police cars in sight, no traffic cameras, no other drivers. So why do you sit there waiting for the light to turn green? Philosophers have debated this for centuries. One answer is a concept called psychological egoism. This is the idea that human beings naturally look out for themselves. In this scenario, you stop because you don't want to risk a ticket, or you don't want to deal with the hassle and expense of a crash. You're motivated by self-interest. The other answer is altruism. This is the idea that people will sacrifice their own convenience for the benefit of others. Under this view, you stop because you feel a sense of duty to protect the community. You wait for the green light to keep a hypothetical crossing driver safe, even if it costs you a few minutes of your time. It seems like a simple moment, but how you answer this question, whether humans are naturally selfish or naturally selfless, actually forms the foundation of how we build laws and run our society. Imagine scaling up that empty intersection. Picture a world with no traffic lights at all, no property lines, no courts, and no police to enforce the rules. This diagram illustrates what philosophers call the state of nature, a society completely lacking any government or established laws. To escape the chaos, humans create the social contract, an invisible mutual agreement, to form a functioning society. The core trait of this contract is simple. You agree to give up a portion of your absolute personal freedom, and in exchange, the group provides you with collective security and order. Over the centuries, 3 major thinkers drew up different blueprints for how this contract should work, and their designs depended entirely on how selfish they believed human beings truly are. First, we have Thomas Hobbes. He took a cynical view. Hobbes believed that humans are pure egoists who are constantly looking out for their own personal survival, which makes the state of nature a violent, perpetual war. This graphic breaks down his solution. Hobbes argued for authoritarian rule. He believed citizens must surrender their rights to a single sovereign, a powerful ruler who uses absolute authority to force order on a chaotic society. We can see his influence today in this leftmost image. When we rely on strict criminal codes and heavy police enforcement to keep the peace, we are drawing on his ideas. The Hobbesian contract assumes humans are inherently dangerous, relying on fear and strict rules to suppress our selfish instincts. Next is John Locke. As the center panel illustrates, Locke had a more balanced view. He saw the state of nature as a place of natural freedom and equality, but one that desperately lacked established systems to resolve disputes when people bumped into each other. This next section outlines his approach. Locke proposed limited government. In his contract, a government only exists with the consent of the people, and its only job is to protect life, liberty, and property. His ideas are the foundation of our modern civic life, as shown in this middle panel. Our property laws, business contracts, and the right to a fair trial all trace back to his blueprint. A Lockean contract treats humans as reasonable beings who mostly just need neutral referees to thrive and play fair. Finally, we have Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Looking at this rightmost panel, he leaned heavily toward altruism. He believed that early humans lived in peaceful cooperation and that it was the invention of private property that ruined the state of nature. Checking his column here, his solution was direct democracy. He argued for a system driven entirely by what he called the general will, meaning decisions are made collectively for the common good of everyone. His impact is visible in our community spaces, shown here on the right. When citizens vote directly on local issues, share public parks, or willingly pay taxes to fund schools for everyone's children, they are engaging in his vision. Rousseau's contract relies on a highly optimistic belief. It assumes that given the chance, people will actively care for the collective well-being of their neighbors over their own private interests. Modern society isn't a perfect replica of just one of these models. We don't live in a pure authoritarian state, a pure libertarian market, or a pure communal utopia. We live in a massive, constantly shifting hybrid of all three. Every day, we debate how to balance these concepts. We are constantly weighing Locke's demand for individual rights against Rousseau's demand that we provide for the broader needs of the community. Sometimes we submit to a Hobbesian reality for the sake of order. We wait in long lines at airport security, removing our shoes and opening our bags, trading away a piece of our personal freedom to ensure everyone on the plane is secure. Which brings us right back to that empty intersection at 3 in the morning. Waiting there is the ultimate mundane test of this grand philosophical deal we've all made. The social contract is a living, breathing agreement. We renew it every single day through our choices, deciding moment by moment whether to act selfishly or to cooperate.